Hi, thanks for joining me once again and welcome back to my channel. I think it's been a couple of months since I did my last video, and I'm filming this as the first of two Exercise Cobra Warriors come to an end in March 2023. The Belgians bought F-16s, the Finns bought F-18s, and the Indian Air Force brought their Mirage 2000s over to RAF Waddington for the best part of what was probably a month or so. So you've probably guessed that today I might be talking about aviation photography, or more specifically a lens I've been using for shooting aircraft photos and a tough decision that I must now make. So as a bit of background, my first big zoom for aviation photography was the first generation Canon 100-400 lens, which I absolutely loved. I got some really great shots with that lens, and it was my go-to aviation lens for a good number of years. But then I decided to upgrade it to a Tamron superzoom because the extra reach to 600mm I thought would be a huge benefit to me, even at the cost of a bit of image quality which I was expecting and prepared to compromise with. So I went with this. It's a new Tamron 150-600 G2, and this allowed me to capture some really impressive shots, certainly images that I couldn't capture before with the 100-400 Canon. The extra reach of the 600mm was worth its weight in gold, I thought. The lens seems robust, well made, and it really is a pleasure to use. I love the finish, the features, the design, and well, although to be fair, I did seem to struggle with the zoom ring because it works in the opposite direction to that of Canon lenses. But overall, I was really happy with this lens, and I even made a couple of videos on my channel, including the G2. So you can find those somewhere on my channel. But then something changed, and I have no idea what or exactly when. I think I first noticed it when the Aviano F-16s visited Lakenheath a couple of years ago, when the weather was really grey, dim, overcast and drizzly. I started to notice that my images were no longer acceptably sharp. I eventually put this down to focusing distance. It seemed that distant aircraft at air shows were sharp, but aircraft shot at closer distances, like those on the approach to land, were less sharp. And I noticed this when using the G2 on both my 5D and 7D bodies. So to solve this problem, I had my lens professionally calibrated and matched to my main aviation body, the 7D Mark II. It was explained to me at the time that Tamron and Sigma have lower standards in their manufacturing focusing tolerances than Canon or Nikon do. Initially, I was very happy with the result. A visit to Lakenheath produced nice sharp results on a sunny day, shooting the F-15s on the approach to runway 24 at fairly close quarters. But then I went to Cosford Air Show last year in 2022, June I think it was, and it was a complete disaster. I think I must have shot over 1,500 images, and all but 14 were completely unusable. The majority of the shots were soft, lacking in contrast, and generally in a complete inconsistent mess. I actually used the air show as a bit of a test for the lens, so I tried different focal lengths, stabilizer on, stabilizer off, different stabilizer modes, different focus points, back button focus, shutter button focus, you name it, I tried it. I couldn't understand how I could get a series of 15 consecutive shots where only one in the series was usable, if that. So this lens was turning out to be a nightmare for me, unreliable and inconsistent in its results. Now, on the plus side for Tamron, they do provide a 5-year warranty, so I decided to send it in for a service and repair, explaining all the issues. It was serviced and an element was replaced along with a firmware update, which admittedly would have removed all the custom calibration that I had done professionally previously. And then I've tentatively shot with it a number of times since then, and frankly I can't see any difference whatsoever. So I'm gutted because this is supposed to be a really great lens. Now interestingly, a mate of mine has the first version of this lens and is in a completely different league to this one. The reviews of the G2 are actually excellent considering the compromises made when building a huge super zoom like this. But this one just isn't right. I'm convinced it's a bad copy, and through my experience of shooting and testing, I'm absolutely confident that it's not me, my technique, my cameras or my camera settings. But not only that, I've even had really great shots from this lens when it was brand new. So I'm thoroughly disappointed, and now I feel I can't use this lens for shooting aircraft with the 5D or 7D anymore. I certainly can't rely on it to produce the results I would have liked to expect. Let me know in the comments below if you have this lens and what your experiences of shooting aircraft are with it. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. So I'm afraid it's time for me to report that my love affair with the idea of a 600mm super zoom is well and truly over, and I think it might be the end of the road for this Tamron G2, and I think I will be looking for a suitable replacement. I think I know roughly which direction I'm going to be going in, so to see what I end up with, please join me again soon. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos in the future. Thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and see you again next time. Bye for now.